What's going on, everybody? My name is Isaac Mihangos. I'm a photographer and web video producer. And in this video, let's talk about the Peak Design Everyday Tech Pouch. I am a really big fan of the Peak Design Everyday Backpack. You know, I'm really into backpacks. I really enjoy them. And I think that the Peak Design Backpack is by far one of the best backpacks I have ever owned. So let's talk about some of the reasons that I really enjoy the product and a few reasons why I don't. And then we're going to move on to my everyday carry, as this is only an add-on to what I already carry. So the first and the most important thing that I enjoy about the Peak Design is that it's always well thought out. The Peak Design Everyday Pouch fits directly into my everyday backpack. The tech pouch fits right in. The reason that I got it was because, you know, I have small things. Sometimes things can get loose. There's a lot of rattling. It's not enjoyable for you or for people around you. So in here, I usually throw in like battery packs, my mini tool kit, my first aid kit. That way there's no rattling. I know where things are. It's an add-on to it, but it can stand by itself. The tech pouch is really well thought out, first and foremost, and it's small, it's sleek, and that moves on to our next point, the fact that the size. First, I know why girls carry purses around, because they're so useful. As you can see here, the size is not intimidating. Comparing it to sort of my iPhone and my lacy hard drive, as you can see, just running some of the measurements, it's just sort of like my way of measuring stuff for a real world comparison is that this is 1.5 lacy hard drives long, 1 1/4 lacy hard drives wide, and the height is about 2 lacy hard drives, and it's really deep, so you can carry multiple items in this backpack. So the third thing that I enjoy is this side pouch for quick access. I would personally throw in something like an SSD in there, because SSDs have gotten so much better and more rugged. Something that I need quick access to, like my passport, especially when going on these flights. I think this is a really great bag for like airplanes or you're running errands. So that's one of the few people that I think will really enjoy this backpack, especially this Christmas. The fourth reason that I really enjoy the tech pouch, as well as the amount of compartments that I have and how deep it is. It looks really small, but it's really deep, so you can throw in a lot of stuff. I personally like throwing my pens in there, my first aid kit, and of course, you know, you have your room for your micro SD cards within this inner pouch. I personally would not throw it in there, but it's a great place to put something really valuable, like all the photos that you took in there for the day. And of course, since the backpacks are water resistant, the Peak Design Everyday is just another layer so that stuff doesn't get wet and ruined. We have to talk about the things that I really don't like about it. There's not that much to hate about it. It's such a small product, but I will say that I was a bit hesitant to buy it because I have owned the Peak Design camera straps, and don't get me wrong, they're really well designed. They're really great products, really well thought out, but it was not a product for me. I returned it so I could use this military grade green strap. So I was a little hesitant, and that's one of the things that I don't like about it, that they make you buy another product, even though this thing is already like $60, $40, $50 if you can find it on sale. But I don't enjoy that fact that you have to buy an add-on. You can't just throw in some, you know, very small strap in there so you can carry it around. The biggest thing I don't like is having to buy an add-on. Like, what are you, the Apple of backpacks? To some extent they are. You get what I mean. I don't like buying add-ons. Now, who would I suggest this backpack to? The 35mm photographer. If you carry a film camera, this is a great small pouch that you can carry, throw in a few rolls of film, and it's going to get the job done. It's not going to break your back, and I think it'll allow you to have some sort of limitation when you're carrying a 35mm camera, and it's just really great overall. You can carry everything that you need in there as long as it is a small form factor. Of course, that's everything that I like about the tech pouch. Now we're going to move on to my everyday carry. Of course, the tech pouch is only an add-on to what I already have. The first thing that I carry, and the most important probably for all of us at this point, is my iPhone. This is a iPhone XR. I think it's still one of the best phones out there. If you're on a budget and you want an iPhone that's really great and it's going to last you a long time, the iPhone XR is still one of the iPhones that I suggest to everybody. The photography has gotten so much better, the portrait mode. The fact that you can't photograph animals is probably the only thing I don't like about the iPhone XR, but it does so much, it does everything right, and it's probably a phone that's going to last you for a very long time. It's in the ecosystem. I use the ecosystem. I am an Apple fanboy. I like the Apple product, everything in there, and I don't mind the notch. Everybody complains about the notch, but at some point I just forget about it. But that's it. No real complaints. The battery life is amazing, and the software, everything has gotten so much better, and it integrates with the next thing that I use every single day and I carry every day. These are the Airpods Pro. I've talked about them, give them the best review possible. They do so much right. They get 85% right, which means I'm sticking with it, and I have nothing else to say because there's 2 videos that I made about it. And of course, having all this tech, you need something to carry it with. This is the RAVPower battery pack. I've had this for a while. I find myself carrying it less and less because the iPhone XR just has such great battery life that I don't feel like I need it, and I feel like phones are moving in that direction. The charging is also super fast, to the point where, like, do I really need a battery pack? I'll still carry it around, but I find that I don't like this battery pack as much because it's just girthy and it's very heavy. I usually use the Anker products, and I think that they're still a little bit better, even though I use a lot of RAVPower. I think it just is one product that I don't enjoy. And of course, I need a great outlet. So I've recently gotten this. This is the Anker, both USB and USB-C. This is a USB-A and a USB-C. The reason I got this is because it's going to charge a lot faster, and it has, as we were transitioning from USB-B to USB-A to USB-C, over time, this is going to be really useful. It's going to come in handy, as we move on from these legacy ports. Always super important. Of course, it's not always about tech. Sometimes, the technology can get in the way, and it can be really cumbersome. So I really enjoy a book. This is a book. Before we had tablets. But right now I'm reading Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. It's a really great book. I enjoy his writing, the writing style, what he's trying to bring to the table. Someone that I didn't, if you asked me like 3 years ago if I would read someone like him, I'd probably say no. But I would really suggest it to anybody that's trying to figure out this really complicated thing called life. It's an enjoyable book, and I think I'll be making a video essay about it. I've thought about getting a Kindle, but that's another thing I have to charge. And charging everything just gives me anxiety. Like, will I have enough battery? Then I have to calculate all this. So I don't have to charge a book. That's the reason that I have it. And of course, to keep everything organized, I've been writing a lot more. So this is like the tech of the future. This is what I thought about when I was a kid, and I was just like, what is the future? The future is flying cars, and you write something and it gets uploaded to something. And the Rocketbook does that with flying colors. This is the Rocketbook Fusion. It's probably one of my favorite products that I found in 2018. One of my coworkers suggested it. I had heard about the brand, the company, but I'm like, it seems kind of gimmicky. It might not work as well. It works really well. It's connected to your cloud. You can have multiple options when it comes to your choosing. There's the iCloud option, the Google Drive option. Still has to be integrated with like the Better Notes app from the last time I checked, and I hope it gets integrated into Proton Drive as well. This product is a product of the future, and I'll be making a detailed review about it because I think it's really underrated. The reason I personally got it is because I have this really bad habit of buying a notebook and saying I'm gonna write on it, but then I just waste money and never use the notebook. So this just helps it stop it. I can erase it with the following product that I carry around every day, which are these. These are the FriXion pens that I carry around everywhere. The FriXion pens have become my favorite. They're really well designed. They feel really great in the hands. The only thing I don't like about them is the eraser. What is up with this eraser tip? Look at this. But the eraser tip is one of my least favorite things. It's just way too small. Like, why couldn't you make it like a traditional eraser? But they're my favorites. They feel really great. I can finally write with 0.7 lead, which is something I never thought I could do. I used to use the G2 pens, but I don't like them as much, and they're also about the same price, but I can't write with them on the Rocketbook notebooks. So they're my favorite pens. I enjoy them. They get the job done, and they're excellent. The price is not too bad, and I'm trying to make sure that everything that I have and own has a purpose. The reason I buy those pens for that amount of money is because they work with the Rocketbook, which is one of the best products that I've ever owned. And of course, for the photographer, I've been trying to get into film. I wanted a Contax T2. The Contax T2 costs an arm and a leg, and supply and demand. There's not that many. It's going to cost a whole bunch, and there's celebrities endorsing it. So I decided to get this. This is the Canon 35mm AF35M. It has everything that I need. It's small and compact. It's a bit too wide, but the most important thing that I was looking for was that it had a flash and that it wasn't too intimidating. So this gets the job done. It has a flash. The autofocus is really good. It's kind of hard to compare autofocus from a DSLR to a film camera, just because at some points they get so far apart that it's not even like a fair comparison, but it gets the job done. I can throw it into the everyday backpack and just have like a really great day with the camera, and the camera doesn't get in the way. So this is my favorite everyday carry camera. It has a self-timer. It does everything perfectly, and it's Canon, and that's pretty much all I own. Deodorant, because I live in California, and people don't like smelly people. So next we're going to move on to the keys. So I used to carry like this metal carabiner, and I didn't like it because it made too much noise, and it was too short, so I could just like line up my keys to my pocket, as you see here in the B-roll. But this is like a 3-for-1. It's a carabiner. It also has paracords, just in case, the world decides to end, because we're kind of close to that. And it's a fire starter, so it has everything that I need, and it's just kind of cool. So I just like keeping it around. Best $10 I've ever had. I will say that from time to time, this thing got loose, so I just soldered it together. And yeah, I used to carry a tile, but they got really annoying with their, subscribe, their subscription model. I can only do that for so long. Battery life was really great. No complaints. It was loud. But the subscription model is the thing that completely turned me off from them, and stop begging me for my money. I don't feel like that's one of the businesses that you can scale in that form. So I don't like it. I don't like the tile brand as much as I used to, and I'm just waiting for Apple to bring in their tile competitor, because I know it'll be just a lot better within the ecosystem. Next, I carry this Alpine Swiss wallet. I don't carry that much cash. I don't feel like anybody does. It's small, compact, sleek, gets the job done. Has a magnet just in case I want to have money in there, and no real complaints. I think I've owned this wallet for like 4 years, and it's just become my favorite. So of course, we had to talk about the braided cable. This is my favorite cable for the Bose QC35s. I found it on Amazon, which is like where everyone finds everything these days. I didn't think I would like it as much, but I like the way that it looks, the way that it feels, how long it is, and it's small. The thing that I like the most is that I can braid it together like this and throw it into the tech pouch. But this is my favorite. I hope they still sell it, or that it's updated, because I could not live without this. That's the review, and everything that I carry, everything I try to carry should have a purpose, right? Like the Rocketbook has its purpose, the wallet has its purpose, the Airpods, the phone, everything has its purpose. I try not to upgrade all the time, because upgrading costs money, and we're still trying to pay off that student loan. But these are the products that I used. I hope that it was informative, and that you got something out of it, and that you purchased something, and it'll bring value to you. I don't know if I'll have a link down below for this as an affiliate, but I will make it very clear that it is an affiliate link. I would just link it down below. I don't even know how Amazon affiliate works, but that's about it. I'll talk a little bit more about the AirPods on the podcast and what my thoughts are to them. I would say that I think they fill in the gaps within the Bose QC35s. I'll sort of expand on that, but that's about it. I thank you so much for your time and your attention. My name is Asmi Hongos, and I'll catch you in the next one.